If you have one predictor variable and you've measured that continuously and your outcome is also continuous, a line chart or a line graph is a good option. In a line chart, you mark your data points and you connect those data points by straight line segments. On the x-axis are the values of your predictor variable. On the y-axis are the values of your outcome variable. You could also use a line chart or a line graph if you've got more than one predictor variable. So you're now going to have one of your predictor variables on the x-axis, and you're going to put one in a legend. If there's one that is more continuous or is continuous, that's going to go on the x-axis. And if there is one that's categorical, that's going to go into the legend. But sometimes it's not as clear-cut as that. Let's look at some vocabulary with line charts or line graphs. So we have the x-axis going across the bottom there, horizontally. We have the y-axis vertically going up the left side. The baseline refers to the line that's along the bottom of the graph. There are grid lines that go parallel to that baseline. There's the data line, which is the marked points and the straight lines that connect those. And you also want to think about the increment or the scale of what makes sense to have as your scale for the y-axis. And for the design details, you want to keep those grid lines very thin. You don't want them to be distracting. Your baseline should be slightly thicker than those grid lines. You want to weight the data line so that it stands out, but not so much that it maybe hides any details of the line. You don't have to start your y-axis at 0. You can truncate and start at some other point on the number line, but don't start from a number close to 0. So, I mean, if you're starting at 300 or 3,000 or 30,000, that's fine, but it would be silly to start at 3. The increments on that y-axis should be natural. 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, 25s, 50s, 100s, natural increments. Again, we don't want our audience to have to puzzle over things. We want it to be very clear what they're seeing. Limit your chart to 4 lines. If you've got more than 4 lines, you're going to be creating multiple charts. Differentiate. If you have multiple variables, if you have multiple lines, you're going to differentiate with weight and shade. Don't use fancy markers or dashing.